This is a video made by Team Heist. We are really sorry, but we will use an artificial narrator since the actual audio is bad. Hello everyone, today we will talk about nodal voltage method or nodal analysis. In nodal analysis, we will consider the node voltages with respect to ground. Hence, nodal analysis is also called as node voltage method. Actually, I will only state 2 steps for the nodal analysis. The first step is to label each node. There are 3 nodes: Node 1, Node 2, and Node 3. We will call Node 1 as V1, Node 2 as V2, and Node 3 as the reference node, or the ground. The second step is to write KCL equations, except for the reference node. This is done by applying Kirchhoff's current law equation first, then use Ohm's law. But first, we will identify the currents flowing in the circuit. There are 3 currents in the circuit: I1, I2, and IS respectively. The KCL equation is I1 minus I2 minus IS is equal to 0. We rewrite the KCL equation in terms of voltage and resistance. We get. Now we just need to plug in the values and simplify the equation. The voltage across V2 is equal to 1 volt. That's it for nodal voltage method, and now, we will proceed to mesh current method and analysis. The first step in the mesh current method is to identify loops within the circuit. In the circuit, the loop formed by Vs1, R1, and R2 will be the first loop. While the loop formed by Vs2, R3, and R2 will be the second. Note that the direction of the current does not matter. If the assumed direction of a mesh current is wrong, the answer for the current will have a negative value. The second step is to label all voltage drop polarities across resistors, according to the assumed directions of the mesh currents. The third step is to make equations in each loop. At current loop 1, the KVL of the first loop is 28 volts minus VR1 minus VR2 is equal to 0. Then, rewriting the equation in terms of current. The current of R2 here is the sum of I1 and I2, since we assume the loops enter R2. Simplifying. Now, we have the first equation. The second equation would be two times the quantity of I1 and I2 minus 7 volts plus R3 times I2 equals 0. Simplifying. Now, we have the second equation. The third step would be solving for the unknowns. Now, we have two equations with two unknowns. Find both I1 and I2. We can solve this using algebra. I1 is equal to 5 amps, and I2 is equal to 1 amp. Note that I2 is flowing in opposite direction, that's why it's negative. That's the end of our video. Please like and subscribe.